Hi, this video is being done in a single take. I don't have the time to make this a fully edited video with a lot of stuff, so I have a script up, and I'm just gonna read off of it, and I'm not gonna do anything else, okay? I'm not gonna try and deviate from it too much. Warning. This video is very different from my other content, and a direct criticism video for Pressure and a very major issue I have been seeing in it since the first time I've been playing. This video is intended to be seen by the developers, but also the general community to have a consensus and knowledge as to what exactly is going on. You have been warned. I have been playing Pressure for a very long time. At least a year. I've been playing since like the first week of Friendly Fire. And there is a very big problem I have noticed that has been more consistent than anything that has ever been added to the game. Bugs and soft locks. Never in my life have I ever seen a game or a Roblox game have been so buggy every single update that it has had. The only two updates I can recall that were pretty much bug-free were Friendly Fire and the 2024 April Fool's event. But every update after that has been a fucking disaster. Let's start with the Raveyard. Easily one of, if not the most broken updates they have ever made. Let's start. Bouncer's AI was completely broken. Like, completely broken. I can make the argument that Launch Bouncer was the single worst AI that has ever been put into Pressure. It got stuck on everything, teleporting straight up did not work, it would almost entirely give up in the final chase, and did not even bother entering the church, even after multiple hotfixes, and it stayed that way for months. Next is performance. The Raveyard ran like ass on lower end devices like phones. They clearly did not even bother playtesting it on anything other than their home computers. Trust me, this comes up later. Next is Skelepede. Yeah, you could just straight up outrun it effortlessly. I don't know how that even managed to happen. It is one of the main enemies in the entire game, or in the entirety of the Raveyard, and you could just straight up outrun it with barely any effort. And the Candlebearers could completely softlock you along with Bouncer and kill you with absolute ease if you got hit a singular time. And this was not an uncommon occurrence. Now don't go into the comments and say they had a deadline, because I know they had a deadline. And that is partially responsible for the amount of bugs, which is perfectly okay. What is not okay is the fact that a lot of these game-breaking bugs lasted for weeks and days. And they were there, and the fact that they were there in the first place. Like such game-breaking bugs that did not get seen during playtesting. Do you remember that bug where I said Bouncer's AI would straight up not go into the church? That didn't work for the first part of the update. It got patched a couple days later, and then it broke again. For 7 months. 7 months, they just were straight up not working in the church. 4.5 was no better either. A massive selling point of the update, in fact, one of the biggest parts of the whole update, was the new Endless Expedition, which straight up also did not work. Soft locking was more common than the heavy containment room type, and one of the new room types, specifically this one right here that I just put on screen, had to be removed day one because it was causing complete soft locks. It has still not been re-added to this day, and I don't know why. It's like they've completely forgotten about it. Anglers did, and still do, despawn if going into a Sea Bunny room. Mobile was again completely broken as it would sometimes crash upon joining most of the time. Trip mines and wires were absolutely everywhere. You get the idea. It was not stable at all. And some features of the update were either missing or broken for, again, days or weeks. You know, like, I don't know how. And the Hunted was just even worse. You could die to Slenderman down in that little cave at the bottom, and you could just casually deload an entire chunk of the lobby and get outside. How? The Crooked would also get stuck on nearly every vent. He did and sometimes still does ignore you when you're looking at him, and of course, the game softlocked almost every single time. And finally, the biggest offender, or the second biggest offender, was Worth the Wait update. Oh my god, I can't speak, sorry. And finally, the Worth the Wait update part 1. In my opinion, the worst launch ever for a pressure update. Sea Bunny Game Pass was mostly not being awarded when you bought it, which was indirect. Let me make that clear. Indirect scamming. Abomination and Firewall were so unbalanced, especially Firewall, was so unbalanced upon launch that they had to lower the fan hitbox size. Softlocks near the Searchlight Grand encounter became almost guaranteed, not to mention how the tram would just sometimes completely despawn and send you in the middle of nowhere, which would also softlock you. Mobile controls straight up did not work for the first couple hours, and half of the console controls were just missing. And the worst offender by far, the recent bunny skin hotfix that came out like a week ago, as of making this video. Searchlights has become a machine gun. This specific Firewall room is near impossible if you're not a master. Searchlights give up on completely... Oh my god, Searchlights completely give up on you after hitting you once. They just don't even bother trying to kill you afterwards. Abomination can just teleport at least like 200 studs ahead of you and kill you instantly. And sometimes it just ignores that you're trying to dodge him and just targets you anyways and is guaranteed to do 50 damage. I have listed all of these to remind both of the community and to the devs that your game is not stable, and it never has been. The game is clearly not being tested for anything other than PC, as mobile and consoles get neglected so much it is genuinely not funny. If you want to have a game on multiple devices, the absolute bare minimum would be naming the correct controls for Firewall on console. And the biggest problem with these issues is they sometimes take days or months to be fixed. You know that Searchlight bug where if it sees you, it rapidly shoots at you, or the impossible Firewall room? Yeah, those have been in the game for days and have not been addressed at all. You know what was addressed though? A locker animation bug that happened in 4.5. That was apparently a #1 bug that had to be fixed. But these? No, these can stay in the game for a while. You know what they're focused on instead? They're focused on working on the overhaul and fucking item skins. Why are they not fixing the game? I would not complain if these were oh my god. I would not complain if these bugs were rare. Like if it was once every blue moon an update released a buggy. I would not complain because that's normal. The problem is that these bugs happen so consistently. Every single update, including hotfixes, this happens. It has been this way since practically day one. And they act so surprised whenever it happens. I am almost confident that playtesting is not done on these updates, or it is done for only a couple hours. Because there is no way that all of these bugs could get past when they are this common. Pressure devs, please listen to me, because I have a potential solution, or at least something that could at least help. Do not use the same people to playtest your game over and over and over again. This has happened with a bunch of different games, not just Roblox games, where they have used the same playtesters for updates and for games, and it has led to the playtesters getting really good at the game. And seeing that the playtesters get good, a lot of parts of the game get harder so that the playtesters can feel more of a challenge. But because they were already good, the challenge gets blown out of proportion, and things like Launch Firewall happen, where you can really tell that it was designed around the playtesters they were using and not the general public. If you want to get these bugs fixed, do public playtests. Forsaken does public playtests on very rare occasions, and that is how they end up with very little bugs on launch. They do end up with bugs. I'm not saying they don't, and some of them are bad, but none of them are nowhere near as bad as the pressure updates and just the sheer quantity of bugs that happen in them. And secondly, if you can't do public playtests because you don't trust people not to leak, hire bug testers. Dedicated bug testers whose entire job in your dev team is to play your game and play certain parts of the game and test for bugs. There are people who do that, and there are people who would love to help you guys bug test your game and make it better. I just don't know why they aren't doing it. Models can wait, bugs cannot. Maybe you obviously have the money to hire 2 modelers to work on item skins, so you have the money to hire at least 1 bug tester. I know this video has seemed very harsh, and it partially is. I am very annoyed right now, but I am very sick of having to go onto Pressure every single day and know that there is a high likelihood that a softlock or a bug will happen that will make progress impossible in that run, and I will have to reset, wasting 45 minutes of my day. Almost every single day. I just want this video to kind of be an eye-opener for how unstable this game has been, because most of the people who play Pressure now have not been playing as long as I have, and a lot of them probably didn't even know half of these bugs happened. Or still happen, and haven't been in the time frame at which they were fixed. I'm just making this video as an eye-opener to kind of tell everyone this game is highly unstable. If you guys want, and to close it off, if the Pressure devs, if you guys want to make better updates, please spend at least a couple days or weeks bug testing exclusively. Because the past updates have only been 1 or 2 days or even a couple hours playtesting. That is not enough. You need to make sure that your game is running correctly, because if an update releases relatively bug-free, that will attract more people because it'll look good. Trust me on this. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. Please leave additional notes, comments, or criticisms down in the comment section below, because I definitely know that a lot of stuff I have said is either going to be controversial or I've missed some stuff. So yeah, just say anything in the comments that you want to say. I will not delete or hide your comments unless they are directly rude. I will not tolerate that. Good day. Good day, everyone.